What would I do differently if I started my locks today? Hey good people, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is about starting your locks later in life. Well, what do you mean by later in life, Sheena? So I mean early middle age. And I feel like I can speak on this because I will be 40 in a few months. So shout out to the Scorpios, and let's get into why we need to consider some things. Well, I was thinking, what would I tell myself, or what would I do differently if I started my locks today? And one of the things you need to consider is how you plan on starting your locks. Are you going to start them yourself, or are you going to go to a stylist or a loctician? If you're going to a stylist or a loctician, you need to consider one, if you like their work, two, their availability. And let's talk about availability. I see a lot of people complaining about stylists maybe being able to install their locks, but having a hard time booking an appointment to get their locks retwisted. And that can be an issue if you want no parts of retwisting your own hair. So that's definitely a question I would ask my stylist once I'm considering them to install my locks. What's your availability like? And what type of maintenance program do they have? Like, do they want you to come in every 6 to 8 weeks? Do they let you decide when you want to come in for a retwist? And pricing. Of course, you want to make sure their pricing is within your budget, as you will be paying this price for how long you have your locks. And you have to consider that pricing will increase over time. When I went to get my locks done, I think I paid $60. Pretty much $40 for the wash and a retwist, and then $20 for it to be styled. And I'm hearing that is unheard of nowadays. So you definitely want to consider pricing increasing over the years, but it's not like you're paying for weave or anything like that. So I feel like it's a win-win situation still. And another thing is, you just want to make sure you're vibing with the stylist. No one wants to sit in a chair of someone that they really don't care for, and it probably won't hurt to maybe have more than one stylist in your lineup. Kind of want a stylist that can refer you to someone else if they have something else going on. People get sick, they're human too. So yeah, make sure you have more than one person that you can go to. Now, another thing you want to think about is your grit pattern. And hopefully they are knowledgeable as far as your hair type and texture and what grit pattern will work for you. But if you're doing the locks yourself, then you've probably done parting on yourself before anyway, whether it be comb, coils, two-strand twists, so you know how your hair lays. So you definitely want to think about what looks best for me. Genetics. So a lot of times the way you start your locks, they're not going to end up looking that way. They change, the texture changes. Sometimes your parts may change. So you definitely want to think about what hair looks like in your family. So your parents, do they deal with hair loss, alopecia, thinning? Do they have thick hair? Do they have fine hair? This will or should determine how you part your hair. You should also consider the current state of your hair before you start your lock journey. Do you have anything going on right now with your hair as far as thinning, breakage, damage? Is it naturally thick or naturally fine? You definitely want to be strategic with your parting when you have thin, low density, or fine hair. Sometimes when I'm on social media, I may see someone get a retwist, and if they have like a lot of scalp, people in the comments, they're like, why they have so scalpy, you know? And I was like, it's because they have thin hair. Everyone doesn't have a head full of thick hair. So sometimes the parting isn't that great for the hair type. So you definitely want to make sure you are doing that. How many locks do you want? Now this is a big one. This is a big one when it comes to getting older, because when I retwisted my hair with over 120 locks, feels different than when I retwist my hair now. When I used to retwist my hair in my early 20s, I had no issues, and sometimes it took me like 2.5 hours. Now it takes me maybe 45 minutes to an hour to retwist my hair, but my arms and shoulders get tired. And that's why I have a lack of motivation sometimes to even retwist my hair. So that's definitely something you want to consider when it comes to how many locks you want. You know your lifestyle. Most of the time when you are my age, you are well established in your career, you have a schedule with your daily life. You have to consider, does retwisting 300 locks fit my schedule? Does retwisting 300 locks fit my hands? And I say hands because if you're retwisting it yourself, they are going to get tired. Your shoulders are going to get tired. But if you are going to a stylist, then that's different. Then you have to ask yourself, does sitting in a stylist chair for that amount of time fit my schedule, fit my lifestyle? Am I willing to do that maintenance for years on years on years? These are questions you need to consider. So other things that come up is just your overall health. So as you get older, things come up. Even if you try to live the best lifestyle, eat right, exercise, some things just come up with overuse and getting older. Right now, I feel like I'm closer to a hip replacement than busting it wide open and getting low on the floor. Or it might be both, but I'm definitely getting up there and I definitely feel it. So when it comes to a hip replacement, a knee replacement, carpal tunnel, and you may have to have a stay in the hospital, what's the upkeep on your hair going to be like? Do you see yourself still maintaining those things? And it's early now, but just think about it. Let's just say you're starting your locks at 40. When you're 47 pushing 50, these are definitely things that can come up, okay? So I know this video was a little bit different than my other videos because I did do a video pretty much on like, should kids have locks? But I just really got to thinking like, shoot, should kids? There are people walking around who are maybe 40, 45, 50 that would love to have a head full of locks but feel like they're too old to like start the journey. Absolutely not. If I could go back when I reached year 10, 12 in my lock journey, I would have started my locks over again just to kind of give my roots a break. I don't feel like my locks are heavy or anything like that. The only time they are heavy is when they are wet or weighed down with product. Other than that, my locks always feel light, but just to give my roots a little bit of relief and just to kind of start over for a fresh start. And that's still not out of the question for me. That may be something I might do on a milestone birthday, maybe when I'm 40, 45, 50, who knows? But the point is, you're not too old to start your lock journey. So I hope this video was helpful and I'll see you on the next one.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my lonely